Very easy. Hello, my name is Doug Bundy, and I'm just an amateur. I don't know what I'm doing, but I put together this website and this broadcast on the website. The website is called, of course, from Voices from the Dust, and this particular webcast, this broadcast is part of that, is explained on the site. And it's called The Voice of Warning. And the voice of warning, as many of you have seen, comes in a couple of directions. One is from those like Alex Jones and others that are warning us of the New World Order and its devilish intent to overthrow the freedom of all lands, nations, and countries, and to bring to pass the destruction of mankind. And that message is so horrendous that it's very difficult for a lot of people to believe, and until their eyes are open, they cannot see it. Well, by the same token, the message of the Scriptures, the message of the God of Israel, who has spoken in our day and who has declared to us that he would proceed to work a marvelous work and a wonder in our day in opposition to this secret work of darkness, is just as difficult to explain to the uninitiated. It is so horrendous. It's such a huge message. It's such a different reality than the reality that people have accustomed themselves to because of the propaganda and the mind control of the secret works of darkness, of those who are seeking their own ends, and whose works are in the darkness, and who sees us, and who knows us, even though their writings, as Alex has explained recently, they're just full of it. In fact, I found, I won't be able to find it right now, but in the Scriptures where, in Isaiah, again, I never noticed it before, but where the Lord even refers to their writings, and they're horrible, and but yet people are totally unaware of it, even though there are thousands of documents available wherein they could, if they were awakened to a sense of their awful situation, they could satisfy themselves that these things are true, that they're not a dream, they're not an illusion, they're not a nightmare made up in the minds of paranoid tin hat wearing conspiracy theorists, but they're actually serious. They're actually real. So it's difficult, and so Alex Jones many times expresses his frustration where he can see so clearly, but many others aren't. But the good news is that many are awakening. Compared to when he first started 14, 15 years ago, he's able to, now he's spoken of in the mainstream media every day. And they have targeted him. They've got to try to stop the movement that he started that is awakening the population, the people, to what is happening. And his cry for that resistance is victory, that it's actually possible to stop these people, that not all is lost, is a great message that is being heard everywhere, and many are rallying to the cry. and standing up for freedom. Well, one of the big things that is a part of the great secret works of darkness, and their besides their murders and their lyings and their deceivings and their false flag operations and whatnot, one of their big part of their operations is something they call the clergy response teams, in which they have literally convinced, evidently, thousands of Christian pastors and ministers to help in the times of emergency, which a crisis, which they bring about under their false flag operations, so that they can increase their power and control over us. They've convinced the clergy that it would be their role in these times to calm the people and persuade them to submit to the government, to oppressors, to tyranny, based on Romans chapter 13. But my message that I want to make clear is that that if this does come to pass, and ministers and pastors of the people in churches across the land try to persuade them that based on Romans 13 they should submit, at least there's going to be one voice in the wilderness that will proclaim the truth. Because the truth is, the Lord has commanded us to awake to a sense of our awful situation and not to suffer that these evil combinations, he calls them secret combinations, shall get above us, because of the murders and the bloodshed the blood that they have shed will cry from the ground to him for vengeance, and he will avenge the murderers and the injustice that these people are part of and are bringing to pass. And it's important to understand, and we'll see this as we get going, that it's not just a few leaders of the people, but it's a dangerous thing where even the common people are seduced into partaking of it, into becoming part of it as a movement.